Traditional owners of the land, the Gadigal people. Lucy Taxer, chairperson of our board, board members, Emmanuel Rodriguez, chief information officer, David Roberts, former director, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to State Records. Today is a very special day in the history of State Records and the culmination of an enormous amount of work by a small group of people. I would like to thank you all for coming to celebrate the launch of the Future Proof strategy. The rise of digital records within government business has posed a challenge to State Records, as State Records has traditionally dealt mostly with paper records. It is this challenge that has led to the creation of the Future Proof strategy. Essentially, there are two main strands to this strategy: to improve digital record keeping across government and to implement a digital archiving facility for the New South Wales Government. The challenges and pitfalls of digital record keeping is not exclusive to New South Wales. The September the 13th article in the New York Times states that countless federal records are being lost to posterity because federal employees grappling with a staggering growth in electronic records do not regularly preserve the documents they create. We at State Records are positioning New South Wales to ensure that this is not the case in our jurisdiction. The Future Proof strategy has a distinctive tagline: protecting our digital future, and this tagline grew from the aims of the strategy and were identified in the early stages of planning to ensure that digital records can support and enable government business and record our rights, entitlements and history. And we believe this tagline encompasses what this strategy is all about. In conjunction with GCIO, State Records intends to help the New South Wales Government improve information access, decision making and management of information as an asset. I would also like to draw your attention to the recently released standard on digital record keeping, which copies of which are available for you to take tonight. Essentially, the standard sets out the minimum compliance requirements for New South Wales record keeping system functionality and is a fundamental part of the platform State Records is building for the future of digital record keeping, and I commend this standard to you. Before I close, I'd like to say a few thank yous. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to David Roberts, the former director of State Records, who championed the Future Proof strategy in its formative phase. To Mandy Barber, Cassie Finlay, Catherine Stewart, John Burke, and all the members of our DRAG team, which is the Digital Records Advisory Group, nothing to do with transvestites, who have done the hard yards, to use a John Lee metaphor. On that note, it is now fitting to introduce Emmanuel Rodriguez, the Government Chief Information Officer, who will launch our Future Proof strategy. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you and good evening, everybody. I won't last long. By the way, sorry for being late here, but looks like we turned the wrong turn and we ended up North Shore when we came from the south of the city. So, anyway, again, as Aaron said, my name is Emmanuel Rodriguez, and I'm pleased to launch the Future Proof strategy here, led by the team. This will provide direction for agencies as they face the challenges of doing business in a digital environment. As you know, most of us are probably pushing more papers than we've ever been doing in our life working in government here. And the thing is, the fact that this world is all about, I was going to use this analogy and obviously have always a bit of a debate with my wife. How many of you have seen the decrease of Christmas postcards coming to your mailbox? As an idea. You're getting more emails now, postcards or birthday cards, than you used to do in the past. Well, this is the new world coming in. And we had this debate with my wife all the time saying, where, I mean, how far are we going to get? Are we ready to get in the space where this is all about digital stuff? No more contact, no more relationship, no more hard stuff, like paper. I mean, people keep running the fight, stop printing, save trees. Well, I think this is pretty much in the space we are heading at right now. And this is pretty much what Alan and State Record and his team are trying to head. So again, this climate of needing to achieve more with fewer resources, the need for collaboration and easy to access information is paramount to our success. The public sector, and you probably would have heard the statistics that came out from the Department of Premier and Cabinet, saying that by 2015, most likely 50% of our workforce, 57% of our workforce will be in a position to retire. That means potentially about 100,000+ people will be walking through the door with, of course, their knowledge. So therefore, we will need to capture and reuse the knowledge of our workers in digital form if we are going to provide a continuous services to our community that they deserve. The future-proof strategy provides an opportunity to ensure the ongoing quality of the state record in digital format, which will not only secure the historical legacy of government in the 21st century, but will actively reduce our carbon footprint by reducing the need of paper, as I mentioned. And this will help manage the accumulating level of storage required. More and more in our new world we require more storage. Even the data center people keep saying this is increasing 20% per year. How far are we going to get? We will need to work collaboratively and embrace a new generation of knowledge workers. All those Y generation coming with us. All those people who keep working through chats, through collaborative tools, through blogs. This is how they communicate. They don't set up meetings. They don't talk to you over the phone. They talk over chats. It's all about digital stuff and exchanges here. GCIO and State Record have been working together to ensure agencies can leverage best tools and resources to optimize performance and collaboration and achieve real saving. I think we're pretty much in an environment right now where saving needs to be achieved. I think you probably heard the tendency of the new government. I mean, we have to find $1 billion, and potentially find more in the future. So please join me in congratulating Alan and his team. Again, I agree, David Robertson, thank you very much for putting this one on the rail. Thank you very much for launching and running and delivering this strategy. I think this is going to be a major player for the future of New South Wales. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Well, thanks everybody for coming, and please enjoy yourself. As I said, we have copies of the standard over there, which if I see you in the street, I'll test you on it. So, and we also have computers with the Future-Proof website on it, so you can have a play with it. And Cassie might like to say something about the website before we go. So.
The Future-Proof website is really a linked site or a sub-site to the main State Records site. You'll still find all our standards and guidelines and other tools on the main State Records site. The purpose of the Future-Proof site is really to be a place where those implementing digital record-keeping systems, whether they be EDRMS-style implementations or adapting business systems, can share knowledge and learnings and tips with each other. So that it's not always State Records giving you the information, but our people in government giving each other the information to assist each other. So there's also, a concise summary of digital record-keeping requirements and tools that are available to help you. So do have a look. They're on the computers on that table and also out in the foyer. And I also wanted to say there's lots of knaps coming out, so do check in. Okay, thanks very much.
Yourself? Busy?